What is up, folks? This is Addy Ads, and we are once again not live on Twitter because we're not allowed to go live on Twitter for some reason. But I just wanted to pause my camera here for a second, do a stream talking about yesterday a little bit. I've kind of been going nonstop since then, and that is great because we had a 2.5 hour stream, I believe it was, earlier today over on the Rundown Live, hosted by Kriston T. Harris. A fantastic roundtable. I would recommend people check out the replay if they didn't catch it. It was myself, Kriston, Joe Neerman was there, Inner City Press, Matthew Russell Lee was there, Nadia L was there, Nunya, Jarva Land, and I'm missing Don Villa, and then um, I might be missing one other person, but it was fantastic. So check it out. Still on his Facebook. I don't believe he's allowed to stream to YouTube. He might be on timeout right now, which is definitely something that happened to me throughout this trial, not just on YouTube, but on Twitter as well, which I mentioned. Lord Commander Anakin is actually being streamed to right now, and I think that's only the second time this whole trial, if I'm not mistaken. And I think that's my biggest channel at 354 whopping subscribers. So I did post. It was basically the first day, and that was it. The first day's videos that I posted, as well as the pre-trial videos. But in terms of the time period of when the trial was going on, just one day I was allowed to post on Lord Commander Anakin, and I just kind of forgot about it, and I just kept going to Addy Ads 10, which is my other channel. But crazy day yesterday. I talked about it in more in depth there, but I just wanted to also give some thanks to people who made this possible because I wouldn't have been able to stay out here in New York City without the support of many people around the world. Donna Z, Monica, uh, Mon, this is first name, Tracy. I'm just going to say people's first names. Joseph, Blake, Deb, Wendy, Melissa, Mike, Patrick, Wes. Some of these people know who they are. Amy, Thomas, Matthew, Norma, Paul. Lots of people made this possible. And then obviously Tim as well. And then, of course, George. So, really, a lot of people who made it possible. Sonia Polton is having me on her show once again tomorrow, actually. It's going to be really bright and early for me. I think it's going to be sub 4 a.m. Sub 4 a.m. work day for me tomorrow. Hello from Calistoga, California. Linda is checking in. Wow, that sounds up north, but I don't know. I've never heard of that place. So thanks for tuning in from Cali. I know I got a few people from the West Coast who tune in. I want to thank Nadia, Kevin, Patty, Judith, Rhonda, Cullen, lots of people. And if you don't want to be mentioned, or I don't know, I'm just saying people's first names, so I think it should be a-okay. But yeah, as well as all the people who I met over the past few weeks, reporters, writers, journalists, maybe a pioneer or two. And of course, people who didn't really want to work because they couldn't. Sometimes they were awkward about it. Sometimes they were kind of rude about it. Other times they were very polite about it. But you know, that's I think my asymmetrical advantage over the mainstream. Maybe it's not even asymmetrical, but it depends on your point of view. Insofar as I don't really have anyone to answer to but you guys. And in that sense, it's the crowd decides in a way, right? Crowdsourced OSINT plus whistleblowers, right? That's kind of the which is technically OSINT, to be frank. But just to differentiate between the terms, public intelligence. Anyways, you can buy my book, but I would recommend waiting until the end of January or so to get the second edition. Additionally, if people are interested in my book on recent events, shall we say, which is going to be new, everything is kind of being put on the back burner besides that at the moment. Uh, so it's going to be different than I think what other people are doing because obviously there's quite a few people doing it now. Um, and it's something I had already started, but never really uh, there's just so much garbage out there. I think it's overdue that another fantastic book about this saga comes out. Uh, what's up, Mark? Mudbath City, Calistoga, Northern California. I was right. It is Northern California. I did not know that. But while I have people with me, I'm going to be on Lee Stranahan and John Kiriaku's show in about 23 minutes, which is the backstory with Lee Stranahan and John Kiriakou, and they are also on the radio, I believe. I actually don't know what's their airwaves, but they also have a YouTube channel. Actually, I'll put it in the chat right now. This is what I'm going to be in 22 minutes now, so people can check that out. We're going to be talking about Maxwell post event. Verdict analysis. I think this is. It was very hard to predict. It seemed like when the verdict would come, it was very. I don't know. It's interesting. It's a whole another conversation about this trial. Was the timing of it? Judge Nathan. We're going to talk about Judge Nathan. Pardon me, folks. We are a soup sandwich over here. No, I'm just kidding, folks. Wouldn't be possible without you. But I think I do pretty good for having had to travel so much, especially over the past even just a few hours coming, because I'm no longer where I was. Because as people who are following me may or may not know, I was pet sitting. I was cat sitting, to be precise, taking care of a feline friend, and I was very close to the courthouse. Am no longer so, but am still able to get to New York, relatively quickly. So I'm still in the area for a few days, and I'm going to be trying to get some interviews done with people somewhat related to the trial, somewhat not, but mostly going to be talking, stuff like Ghislaine Maxwell and Jeffrey Epstein, etc. So be on the lookout for that. And I also do want to do a few more field trips, which I saw um, Mr. Lee doing. I think earlier today he was on the move. I can't remember, something to do with Gutierrez, believe it or not. So he's really been the man over this trial. The ability for him to tweet in the courthouse. He goes, I believe, into the Moynihan courthouse. So not the Thurgood Marshall courthouse. Two different buildings. It's on the other side of Pearl Street, kind of kitty corner, one could say, to the back and to the right of Thurgood Marshall if you're facing outwards. Uh, and I'm pretty sure that's where Adam Glassfield goes too, which is kind of funny because I asked him for an interview actually yesterday. It was the first time I actually got him free for a moment because he always had a camera in his face. And I guess it was this documentary or something. He signed a contract, I guess. So he was kind of awkward about it, but he was polite, I would say. Uh, he's definitely a hot shot. Um, but, yeah, there was a couple other people who I wanted to ask for interviews, but they were very closed off. They never really afforded me the chance to talk to them, or I just didn't see them. And when I did, um, didn't seem like they were open to chatting. So, that being said, most of the people I've encountered over the past month have been great to meet. They all brought, I think, a unique angle to the Ghislaine Maxwell case and the trial in particular because of that, the fact that so few people saw it with their own eyes. And yeah, it was, man, I almost missed it. I was minutes away from missing it, like probably 90 seconds. Uh, and I just got in to the fifth floor, and Nathan was was reading it off. So that was interesting. I talked about lingering for a second, like maybe 20 seconds or so, just to take a beat. And I don't know. I wasn't entirely sure. I was like, man, that was it. I literally went in at the perfect time. She was checking with all the jurors, and I was surprised, I think, to say the least. But also the other thing I did is after I was like, whoa, I walked up and I went to see Ghislaine and to see her reaction. It was like, I don't know, it was underwhelming from a audience member's point of view, I would say. Uh, like I said, it's almost like she knew it was coming, or I don't know, maybe she's that good at putting up a front. Who knows? Because she still has cards to play, uh, which we actually discussed on Kriston's chat. Which again, I recommend people go and check that out. But gonna try to get this book out ASAP, to put it euphemistically. I don't know what else I can say. Hashtag we are Ryan Dawson. Hashtag stay frosty. Says P1 Dizzy. And he's got the rainbow frog. Oh man, it always makes me laugh. I gotta say. Polling them asks Arakad. I'm not sure what you mean by that. Perhaps you could clarify. But I wanted to plug Nadia L, who's going to be on Cat Water Show. Actually, I think they're on it right now. So after I'm done talking, you can watch me over on Kiriaku, and then go watch the replay of Nadia and Cat talking. So it should be, I think, similar to the shows that I've done on Kiriaku and Stranahan's. I think I've been on there um, thrice now. Goes like a half an hour, radio format, pretty rapid fire. It's pretty fun format. What's this? Rumble.com. Film producer John Paul Rice of The Hunger Games talks about Hollywood child abuser. Oh wow. Great work, Eddie. Thanks for all you did. Appreciate it, Eric Hod. Link for Stranahan. I will put it again in the chat. I'm just gonna make sure that it works okay. If you can see it. I'm just wondering if you can click it straight from the chat. Okay, yeah, you can. It should work there. So yeah, 5:30, about 15 minutes from now, will that occur? And again, Sonia Poulton, bright and early tomorrow for me. It's going to be, I think, 8, little after 8 Greenwich Mean Time, which is early. Let's put it that way. It's very early for me. I'm glad I don't live on the West Coast. That would make it, maybe it'll make it easier. I don't know. But regardless, Americans can watch the replay unless you're going to be up at like 3 or 4 a.m. Later. And I think she's on BNT Rise, I believe it's called, over on Brand YouTube. And she actually had quite a tough year from what I could see. She was in some sort of legal battle. I don't know the details of it, but basically that's over as far as I can tell. I may ask her about that on my show, actually, which she said she would be on sometime in January. So that'll be fun because we actually had first touched base about doing a show about 2 years ago, actually, probably over 2 years ago now. It was, I want to say, in the fall of, yeah, it's like 2 years and some change. So we are connecting now, and we had a great show on Christmas Eve morning. It was uh, such a viewing that it beat out Sky News on YouTube for the same day. Not bad, not bad. I gotta say. Um, and Sky News was actually at the trial. They were nice, actually. I liked them. I like Sky News. The people that I met from there, they were very nice. I gotta say, regardless of what the outlet may be like. Um, this is from Judith. Hi, Eddie. Thank you for all your hard work. I live in New Zealand. Wow, and it was very hard to follow this case otherwise. You look like you needed good sleep. I did drink a Celsius today. I don't know if anybody's ever had those, but they're pretty good. Lots of caffeine, but very good vitamins, I gotta say. Monsters have way too many B vitamins and nothing else. Uh, Rock stars are a little bit more balanced, although 300 milligrams of caffeine sometimes, which is a bit much. Celsius only have 200, and they have a much better vitamin count. Anyways, I'm not going to go into energy drinks. Eddie, hope you got my Venmo gift. Wish I could do more. Appreciate all your effort with this trial for not giving up. Thank you, folks. Appreciate that. And I do have to say, um, there was a something going around the reporters. I guess there was 4 people who. This is what I was told. I'm not going to say who told me this or where they got this information exactly, but this person claimed that there were 4 people who got sick around Christmas time, and that was unsurprising to me. I believed her. Let's put it that way. I definitely, I think I got something during that time. It wasn't terrible. It was body aches and fatigue, mostly. Very mild, very, very mild. I just slept. I couldn't get up one day. Unfortunately, it was after closing arguments, but yeah, there was something going around. And then Kriston gets his laptop stolen, just his laptop, not his expensive headphones or anything else. Very interesting, to say the least. Coincidental, perhaps putting it euphemistically. I don't know. I'll leave that open to interpretation. But 11 minutes now until Kiriakou and Stranahan's show. In case anyone wants to join us over there. Yeah, but we did go pretty deep into. There was a huge panel, so we each only probably spoke about. Well, we went pretty long. It was probably like 8 minutes or so each. I don't know. It's tough to say. We went 2.5 hours, and there was what, 10 of us, 8 of us, something like that. It varied. I think people came and went a couple times. A couple people showed up later, but it seems like most people stayed to the end. But we talked about Jane a bit. Didn't talk about Carolyn too much, but just the fact that the enticement charge didn't stick and what that meant in the jury's eyes, or what we thought. Talked about the transparency from the government during this, with myself and Jarva being disallowed into the courthouse, and with the lack of call-in line, which Mr. Lee has campaigned about very diligently, which I'm very thankful for him for that. And I'm gonna text him about that too, because that's, I mean, I don't know. I don't know if he sounded like he was open to that idea. They made a good one with Omicron, then maybe, I don't know. Maybe that's what I got. Who knows? It was very mild, though. I will tell you that. It's been over 3 years since I'd gotten ill before that, and that time it was a decently bad flu. It wasn't the worst flu I've ever had, but it was not fun. Um, but it was, you know, more or less the same, uh, and just a bit more extreme. Nothing, nothing too bad. Anyways, yeah. So New York is obviously, you know, New York. It's heard it compared actually to New York in the 80s. I wasn't around then to see it. I had only been to New York once before, was probably mid 2000s. Uh, the Audis, as they are being called now, and just went to tourist sites really, and it was only a day. Did not stay the night. Went to the Statue of Liberty. Went to Times Square, and went to a museum as well. I think we might have went to a couple of museums actually. Um, Certainly went to the Met. I remember that. But again, if people want to join us, 8 minutes going to be on Kiriakou and Stranahan. Maybe we'll talk about Julian Assange. I don't know. Hopefully, but I actually I think I have one more Assange podcast I wanted to do soon. I'm trying to pump out some more Assange material, calling out the grifters. That's that topic alone has just provided me a lot more stuff to work with. And again, my book is going to be the best. Yeah, I'm going to say, guys, it's not going to be the quickest. Obviously, Mr. Lee already took that cake, which he deserves. I think he's the man. He's probably the MVP of this trial in terms of reportage. Uh, and it was really fun to meet up with so many new great people. A lot of people I hadn't heard of before, and getting a shout out from Robert Gruler. That was quite an honor. I remember people texting me about that. Um, Sandy says your hard work pays off. Lots of exposure, new contacts, good for you. So curious about my comment being removed. So weird. I think I remember that. It was on the rundown, if I'm not mistaken. Something about, I think she had asked about the robbery actually, and then she messaged me later and said that comment got removed post event. So after the fact, very strange there. But see if I'm missing anything. I mean, some other tropes of this trial is, I don't know, the mainstream. They remind me of like the popular kids in high school where they're like so surface level. Uh, the type of people I'm talking about. I'm stereotyping a bit here, or generalizing is probably a better way to put it. But there was a bit of I don't know, like I'm not the only person to say that. That sort of statement. I've heard multiple people say that. But some of them were very polite. They're just like, we're like, yeah, we can't. My boss basically would not like it, is what one guy basically told me. Um, and then others told me they would work with me and then didn't, which that particular context did not uh, surprise me. But uh, some of them were great. I mean, that's why I loved working with Inner City Press, is because he's so willing to, if you ask, I think, good questions, what's going on. Um, there's a lot of cowards in the media. I think most people are not, you know, they probably lack bravery, to put it nicely. Unfortunately, I know, people might disagree with that, but it's rare you find someone who's intelligent, like talented, right? Uh, Ethical or having integrity, and um, having a bravery too, because that's probably the rarest of those three attributes. But having all three, I think a guy like seems like a guy like Matthew Lee from Inner City Press has those. Got his shirt ripped by the UN, getting kicked out, pointing out their extra legality, lack of accountability. And honestly, the first time I heard about that was from this guy I worked with in Michigan. His name is Mark, and he's like, "Yeah, they're chomos," is basically what he said about the UN, and I was like, "What? Are you serious?" And he's like, "Yeah, and they steal diamonds," and I was like, "Oh, that's really breaking it down." Uh, and I think he's at least half right there. Probably wholly right. I haven't read or researched about the other half there, but I wouldn't be surprised. Dr. Johnson, South Africa reported 50% of colds would be the uh, Omicron. With that, you would gain a large number of antibodies. So perhaps I did it the easiest way uh, possible. I don't know. In terms of if that's what I got sick with, then I got antibodies in a relatively painless way. It was really like 2 days of being tired and one day of being really tired. And other than that, not nothing too painful. But I'm gonna log off here, folks. Get ready. Here I'm gonna put the link in one more time. Get ready for Stranahan and Kiriakou, and people can join us over there. Once again, Sonia Polton tomorrow. So I'll also tweet and telegram that link out. And I already did the same for the roundtable on the Rundown Live. If you're not on the Telegram, please get on there. God forbid I lose my Twitter, which we're not streaming to right now. And the other thing would be if you want to join us next week on Atwood, Sean Atwood again, please send me your email, preferably via DM on Twitter or Instagram, preferably Twitter. Instagram is second, Facebook is third. I prefer you didn't message me on there. I often don't see it for whatever reason. It's just really messy system on Facebook. Not very user friendly. And they also just don't notify me sometimes, I think. Peace and blessings, Jumpy. Audio in and outness. Oh, that's too bad there, folks. But again, Kiriakou, about 2 minutes. Stay frosty.